I came here with the Turkish Research Agency bursary to work with her. And it is the part of my postdoc project. It's about the trustworthiness of digital records that we create in blockchains. And today we did a survey to discover the National Archives activities on blockchain technology and want to learn their things about this technology in the scope of the trustworthiness of the digital records. Here is my plan. First, I would like to give a bit of introduction in here. Then I would like to tell a blockchain technology in the scope of archival science, then trustworthiness of digital records. And I would like to explain the role of national archives on preserving the digital trustworthiness of the digital records, our findings of the study, and conclusion and further studies. What we examined in this research, we examined the viewpoint of national archives on blockchain and distributed ledger technologies, discovered their activities in relation to application of these technologies, and analyze their thoughts on how these technologies can play a role in preservation of the records trustworthiness. We did a survey, and there is a book of Director of National Archives. This is the one of the list that the many of the national archives listed. So this is the only accurate reference we can took. And we sent 194 national archives that listed in the that book, and we received only 18 responses. It is so low, but this is the only we can get. Let me introduce about the blockchain technology from Archival Science. I do not explain how blockchain technology works, but just to point some critical points from the Archival Science. The blockchain is a specific manifestation of distributed ledger technologies, DLT. DLT is the sharing of transactional records among the multiple parties with a decentralized network. These transactions are sequentially recorded in the ledgers with the mutual consent of involved parties. In here, there is no central authority that governs the records, and all participants, which we call that nodes, possess the identical copies of the records. Think that I am working at Bursa Uludag University in Turkey and graduated from Istanbul University, and also the University of British Columbia are making the same transaction and think that they are creating the records. So the records, there is no central authority that governing these records in this example. All participants that we call nodes, British University, the University of British Columbia, Bursa Uludag University, and Istanbul University are nodes, and they have the identical copies of the records, so there is no debate which record is authentic. In a blockchain system, records are stored in blocks that these blocks has a specific data capacity, 8 megabyte or 60 megabytes or 32 megabytes, which up to your development. And when these blocks reach their maximum and completed, they are subsequently added in a sequential order. So this is the reason why we call links to a chain, and thereby they forms a blockchain. And each block contains timestamp information. It includes the data and time of its creation. So this is the establishment of the chronological sequence and recorded with a cryptographic signature. And let me explain about some critical points of trustworthiness of digital records. Trustworthiness can be defined as preserving the attributes of the records, such as the medium, content, author, and the context. And there are three critical qualifications for assessing the trustworthiness. These are authenticity, accuracy, and reliability. Authenticity can be defined as preserving the attributes of the record without any change during its creation, its capture, its processing, filing, and archiving. And it examines through the identity and integrity. Identification means that distinguishing the records from the other records by their characteristic elements. Like these characteristic elements are the author of the record, creator of the record, persons involved in that record, date of the creation and transmission, subject, the archival point, maybe the one of our participants do not aware of archival bond. Archival bond can be mentioned, that can be defined that records are created after the functions, and while we need to establish the archival bond is we need to associate with the records that belongs to the same function. So we need to this is the archival bond is the main thing that distinguish the records from other information materials. So this is the critical point in every technologies that we will use for managing the archival records. I will come again to the archival bond. And another facet of the authenticity is integrity. Integrity means that the records are unaltered after its creation. In here, the goal is preserve the context, form features, and the content of the records. One of the other critical elements for trustworthiness is accuracy. It is another essential element of trustworthiness. And the accurate record means that precise, correct, consistent, and free from falsification. Reliability is another crucial element. It's analyzed and assessed on the completeness of the record form through the controls. These controls can be implemented from the record production procedures. These controls can include the production and receipt of the records, like if it is placed in the appropriate folder, if the access controls can be implemented in a predetermined way, and authorization of the person of the record, think that I am right to create that record, and in that authorization process, we make the access rules to give a permission to let me create that record. And the completeness of the record form also ensures that intellectual elements are present. And it means that the record can be suitable for legal consequences. So it is also very important for evidential value, to preserve the evidential value of the records. Trustworthiness of the digital records means that also in archival science, preserving the evidential value of the records, because the all base point of analyzing the trustworthiness comes from the legislations, the regulations criteria. In many countries, I think in all countries, legislations based the criteria for assessing the evidential value of the records. Also, they are the critical points of the archival trustworthiness to assess trustworthiness of the digital records. So for the archival science, if you establish and if you assess the trustworthiness of the records is preserved, you can say that the evidential value of the records is preserved. But from the legal side, it is not valid, because if you want to say that we can preserve the evidential value, you should add your method to the legislation. And the blockchain and trustworthiness of digital records, what is the main advantages in here? Even blockchain technology, quantum technology, the records, the DNI, no single technology is capable of preserving the trustworthiness of the records, because it has a side of also the social side that we call the archival side, and you need to incorporate policies and procedures. So by using which technology, even the blockchain technology, you should also adopt the archival science perspectives by implementing the procedures. And also you need to add these methods to the legislation. And after that, you can say that, yes, we preserve the evidential value of the record. This is the reason why we need archival science perspectives to preserve the evidential value of the digital records. But blockchain technology offers several advantages by maintaining the authenticity, reliability, and accuracy of the records. We can say that authenticity can be preserved with blockchain technology because blockchain technology can be capable of preservation of its integrity and identity information. As you mentioned, as I mentioned before, identification can be encompassed by characterizing the author of the record and establishing the archival bond. Integrity also can be defined as maintaining the completeness of the record, like the record means unaltered after creation. And in blockchains, once the author of the record syncs with a private key, also blockchain technology uses public key infrastructure, the signature cannot be denied. So we can say that, yes, the record cannot be altered after the creation. Another method for preserving trustworthiness is semantic text. We use semantic text to preserve the identity, especially to establish archival bonds. By applying semantic tagging, a relationship is established between records that pertain to the same transaction, but located in different blocks. I think that the institution creating his or the personals and the personal has many different topics, the records in many different topics. So in blockchain technology, they can be located in different blocks. You don't have to finish the process of the other records. So by semantic tagging, you can associate the records that belongs to the same function, the same person, the same issue or same subject. So in this way, the archival bond is preserved by linking the records to the respective transaction to which they will link by semantic tags. The preserving integrity is the prominent advantage of blockchain technology. The real-time creation of blocks, verification of the transactions cryptographically, and the distributed architecture gives us many benefits to preserve the unaltered records. Also, blockchain technology prevents us from unnecessary record duplication and eliminate the question of which record is authentic, because all records are distributed, and so there is one record and there is no problem of which one is authentic, because all records that stored in the nodes databases in ledgers is the equal to same record, so there is no problem about authenticity. Blockchain applications also address accuracy and reliability, which are crucial components for preserving the trustworthiness. In here, we use procedures and technical controls like system checks, the audit logs, and other procedures which come to mind. Blockchain technology will enable more robust quality control measures, but we have to say that without proper controls in any system, the outcome might lead to disorder of the records, because records can be regarded as representatives of the act. So you need an authorization for who, how, and when produce the records. This is the reason, one of the reasons we need a procedural controls. We can define electronic message as records in blockchains, and if the components of these message data, the record, are not predetermined, there is no control of the production process. And even if the message is sealed or has a timestamp, we cannot establish the chain of the custody. We cannot establish the archival bond, so the message cannot be reliable. In here, for health data records, there is a good example for preserving the archival bond in here. It is possible for the health data record, if the data message or the information is not reliable or has some falsifications, you can also add some semantic tagging to correct these records, these data message. How about the National Archives? Why we need to examine the role of National Archives on preserving the trustworthiness? For many centuries, archives have been recognized as repositories for keeping trustworthy evidence, also keeping trustworthy records. In here, National Archives in all countries are the authoritative bodies for responsible the archival functions. They establish and enforce regulations that govern the archival practices. So we need, while we are talking about blockchain technology, we need the National Archives growing the sector and leading the sector by governing archival procedures and regulations and legislations. Also, they are entrusted with task of offering guidance on implementation of the emerging technologies like distributed ledger technology and one of the sides that blockchain technology. But we saw that lack of comprehensive initiatives in implementing blockchain technology. Only several national archives have some studies or publications. One of the British National Archives, they introduced the Archival Project. It's primarily dedicated to storage of video recording using blockchain technology. And from one of the good examples is Republic of Tatarstan, Archival Project. Also, they are involving how to register the record that transferred to the National Archives of Republic of Tatarstan in blockchains. Also, we saw that the South Korean National Archives and the National Archives of China has been exploring this subject. Additionally, Estonia has implemented the storage of health data in blockchains. And let me explain about the sample of the survey. As I mentioned, the director of the National Archives, the book, encompasses the information about the 194 National Archives. We emailed all National Archives listed in that book, but 15 of these archives email correspondents have not incorporated in the book, and 60 entries have erroneous information about email. So we have total 119 accurate archives to be contacted. We did send this survey to International Council of Archives listserv, the ARCAN in Canada listserv, the National Stewardship Alliance based United States, the NRI is also based in United Kingdom, and the Education and Research Initiative, AR listservs. Also, we asked the International Council of Archives to circulate this survey to its members. Even these endeavors, we only got 18 respondents. It is about the 15% participation in this survey. You can wonder the geographical location of these countries. We have 4 countries from Asia, 12 from Europe, 1 from Africa, and 1 from the Americas. 5 of the National Archives responded that they have performed studies. 3 of them are from Europe, and 2 of them, I think, from Asia. However, only 1 of them stated that they have published on this subject. Let me show you some questions. Our first hypothesis is blockchain technology will change archiving practices. And we asked if it is possible to learn their thoughts. Our first question is, in next 5 years, archivists will have a role in using archival knowledge to help in the design and or evaluation of blockchain systems. You see that only 6 of them agreed this question, 9 of them natural, and 3 of them were disagree. And our other question, national archives will use blockchain technology for archival preservation. Interesting that 5 of them were disagree. They do not think that national archives will use blockchain technology for archival preservation, and the 5 of them agreed this question. Yes, national archives will use blockchain technology for archival preservation. Also, the 8 of them were natural. Our third question about this hypothesis: national archives will use blockchain technology to protect the integrity of the records. 9 of them, approximately half of the participants, thought that national archives will use blockchain technology to protect the integrity of the records. The 7 of them were natural and 2 of them disagree. It is interesting that the natural answers goes in the same rates, 7, 8, or 9. Many of them were natural for implementing to blockchain technology. And the other question, national archives will acquire or have crypto assets transferred to them to sustain the system. 7 of them disagreed this question, this proportion. Only 3 of them agreed and thought that the national archives could acquire or have crypto assets transferred to them to sustain the system. We asked also national archives to generate their own crypto assets. Also, the disagree rate is higher in this question. 12 of the national archives disagreed. They do not want to keen on to generating their own crypto assets. Only 3 of them agreed to this proportion. Our other question is, national archives will become more relevant. And in here, 8 of them agreed this question. 4 of them disagree. They do not think blockchain technology will, after implementing the blockchain technology, national archives will become more relevant. Our last question about this hypothesis, we asked if the national archives thought that they have sufficient access to continuing archival education relating to blockchain technology. The 11 of them disagreed. 4 of them agreed. Maybe this is one of the further research about how they can incorporate it to the archival education relating to blockchain technology. After the answers we got, we taken that our hypothesis is blockchain technology will change archiving practices, but we saw that the national archives are reluctant to have led to foster the blockchain technology in archives, in national archives. We think also one of the reasons for this result is that we did in this survey in the beer session. You know that there is a bull of the crypto assets get higher and there is decrease. We did in this survey while the crypto assets prices were decreased. Maybe this one will be the reason they some hesitations about implementing the blockchain technology, because many of the people even in archival science thought that blockchain technology equals to the crypto assets, but it is beyond that. There are many implementations, way of implementations without using crypto assets on blockchain technology. One of the widely used is Hyperledger, for example. And our second hypothesis is if the trustworthiness of digital records can be preserved better with blockchain technology. First, we asked national archives should add blockchain technology to digital preservation policies. I think that, yes, I saw truly 9 of them agreed, half of the participants agreed this question, 3 of them disagree, and the others were neutral. Also, we asked if they thought that the trustworthiness of the digital records can be better preserved with blockchain technology, and 8 of them, 9 of them, sorry. Yes, 8 of them were agreed this question, and after the 8 of them who thought that blockchain technology, the trustworthiness of the digital records can better preserve with blockchain technology, we asked more questions to them. One of the more questions that we asked these 8 archives, if the identity can be better preserved. The 5 of them agreed this question. Only 1 of them disagreed. They didn't commit that the identity can be better preserved with blockchain technology. Also, we asked the reliability can be better preserved with blockchain technology. Also, the 5 of them agreed, and same, 1 of them disagreed. We asked the accuracy can be better preserved with blockchain technology. Also, the 5 of them agreed, 1 of disagreed. We ask using tradable crypto assets in archival blockchains may cause economic problems because of the unforeseen decrease and increases. 6 of them agreed this question from the 18 participants. Also, the 4 of them disagreed, and only the 8 of them neutral. Also, we asked if they have an idea about using non-tradable crypto assets in archival blockchains, and the 11 of them agreed this proportion thought that using non-tradable crypto assets in archival blockchain is better way. And the 2 of them disagreed this question. Our latest question related to this hypothesis, using tradable crypto assets to set off the costs of the system about sustaining the distributed ledger technologies and blockchain technologies. Even we asked to make an idea about them, we can, for archives, trade crypto assets to set off the costs, but 8 of them disagreed this proportion. Only 3 of them agreed. So we can say that, yes, our hypothesis is verified, even it's like a negative way. National archives are reluctant to implement blockchain networks that use tradable crypto assets. Yes. And the conclusion, the primary objective of the survey was to gauge the perspectives of national archives, especially concerning the potential of blockchain technology. We thought that it is very efficient on preserving the trustworthiness of the records. While only 1 national archive said publication on this subject, 5 nations have expressed that their ongoing engagement in studies in blockchain technology. The first tested hypothesis in the study is blockchain technology will change archiving practices, but it's not, it lacks support. They do not think that blockchain technology will change archiving practices. We can say that the national archives are not yet to embrace blockchain technology's results. The second hypothesis of the study is the trustworthiness of the digital records can be preserved better with blockchain technology. We can say that, yes, the verification, this hypothesis has been verified. And also, national archives are reluctant to implement blockchain networks that use tradable crypto assets. Also, we can say that, yes, this hypothesis has been substantiated. How about further studies? What we can implement from this study? This study is one of the first systemic analysis of the viewpoint and activities of national archives on blockchain and distributed technologies. While 18 archives responded this survey, we need to reach out to more national archives to obtain a more complete picture of national archives. So we think that maybe in bull season we can make this survey again to the national archives to learn their thoughts if there is any change about their opinions. But we saw that some national archives are actively engaged in exploring this technology. So there is an opportunity to conduct qualitative research, the case studies with them, like the challenge they encounter, their objectives, obstacles that need to be addressed, if there is a need for archival education for them. So we can do this further research with my dear Professor Körelem. And if this study managed to inspire new perspectives for researchers, it can be that its intended purpose has been accomplished. I would like to thank you for listening. If you have further questions, you can mail me or we can talk here. Thank you again for coming today.